there is one word that you find coming out like a bomb from the Upanishads, bursting like a bombshell upon masses of ignorance, it is the word fearlessness. It is fear that brings misery, fear that brings death, fear that breeds evil. And what causes fear? Ignorance of our own nature. Don't be afraid of anything. You will do marvelous work. The moment you fear, you are nobody. It is fear that is the great cause of misery in the world. It is fear that is the greatest of all superstitions, and it is fearlessness that brings heaven in a moment. Strength is goodness, weakness is sin. Weakness leads to slavery. Weakness leads to all kinds of misery, physical and mental. Weakness is death. Strength is goodness. Strength is life. Welcome our young participants. Today, in this auspicious day, 12th January, birthday celebration of our great master Swami Vivekananda, as well as National Youth Day. Welcome to Youth Talk venue, Swami Vivekananda Ancestral House. And today, all of you all have selected a vibrant message, a really vibrant message of our great teacher. Swami Vivekananda proclaimed loudly that if there is one word in the Upanishad, our age-old cherished scripture Upanishad, if there is one word in the Upanishad bursting like a bombshell upon masses of ignorance, that word is fearlessness. And today all of you all have selected this attitude, fearlessness as well as courage. Now, courage is not absence of fear. We got to be clear about it. First of all, fearlessness or courage, it is not at all absence of fear. Everybody fears. Everybody, all of us, you all, we, me, everybody fears. Because fear is part of us. Fear is part of our very instinct. Sanskar. In Bengali, sanskar. Fear is actually part of our very instinct. Fear is part of us from our childhood. So everybody fears. So courage is not about absence of fear. No way. Courage is not at all about absence of fear. Courage is conquest of fear. Conquering our own fear, that is courage. Conquest of fear is courage. It is not absence of fear. And everybody fears. And fear multiplies faster than rabbits. Fear is one of the biggest magnet sort of thing. It's a series of things. It's a series. One fear attracts another fear. That's the normal process. One fear attracts another fear. Fear multiplies faster than rabbits. Or it can be said like that fear is such a dark room where negativity is developed. Fear attracts negativity. Fear attracts negative attitude. As simple as that. And the biggest thing is that fear, whatever we are thinking, these things are basically imaginary fears. These things are basically imaginary fears. These things are not existing. As simple as that. So, courage is actually conquest of our own imposed fear, of our own developed fear, of our own imposed limitation. Now, regarding this subject, we would like to share a very beautiful event with all of you all. 1953, 29th May, Edmund Hillary and Sherpa mountaineer Tenzing Norgay reached the summit of Mount Everest. And after that, Edmund Hillary so beautifully stated one thing. It's really a beautiful statement from that champion mountaineer, Edmund Hillary. He said and he stated that I haven't conquered nature. He reached the summit of Mount Everest for the first time, any human being actually reaching there. So after reaching, he stated that I haven't conquered nature. I haven't conquered Mount Everest. The only thing which I really conquered is my limitations. I have conquered my own limitation. Just mark my word. Edmund Hillary stated that I have conquered my own limitation, and that is the main attitude. That is the main chemistry. Whatever fear, whatever conquering of fear we are stating, it's only about conquering our own fear, conquering our own limitations, conquering our own doubt and confusion. It is conquering our own imposed fear. It's as simple as that. And today we have got a very important animated video for all of you all. This video is presented by Chennai Ramakrishna Mission, and this animated video is entirely based on one event in the life of our great teacher Swami Vivekananda, and the name of the video, animated video, is Face the Brute. It's very relevant. Whatever topic we are actually interacting, whatever topic we are discussing, this animated video is so much relevant. So just go through, just observe it, watch it calmly, and try to relate. Try to relate. We must try to relate with our own life. That is the most important thing. Whatever message we are getting from our great teacher, we got to relate with our own life. Otherwise, it is useless to some extent. Otherwise, those things are just information. It may be a beautiful information, but those things are only information if we are not in a position to relate whatever we are getting with our own life. So, just observe the video, animated video, and try to relate. And then we will discuss and we will interact again. Face the brute. That is the animated video.
Take a still higher conception. See how we are flying, like hunted hares, from all that is terrible, and like them, hiding our heads and thinking we are safe. See how the whole world is flying from everything terrible. Once, when I was in Varanasi, I was passing through a place where there was a large tank of water on one side and a high wall on the other. It was in the grounds where there were many monkeys. The monkeys of Varanasi are huge brutes and are sometimes surly. They now took it into their heads not to allow me to pass through their street. So they howled and shrieked and clutched at my feet as I passed. As they pressed closer, I began to run. But the faster I ran, the faster came the monkeys, and they began to bite at me. It seemed impossible to escape, but just then I met a stranger who called out to me, "Face the brutes." I turned and faced the monkeys, and they fell back and finally fled. That is a lesson for all life. Face the terrible. Face it boldly. Like the monkeys, the hardships of life fall back when we cease to flee before them. If we are ever to gain freedom, it must be by conquering nature, never by running away. Cowards never win victories. We have to fight fear and troubles and ignorance if we expect them to flee before us.
What a beautiful video, and so much relevant. And it's entirely based on one of the event in Swami Vivekananda's life. Face the brute. Here it is referred very categorically that face the brute. Now just think calmly what to face. Whom to face? Face the brute. Is it any external thing? Is it any external fear? Is it any external event we need to face? Or we need to face our own fear? Face the brute relates to facing our own imposed fear, our own developed fear. We are actually injecting our own negative thoughts, our own negative attitudes we are developing. It's not coming from somewhere else. No, these are not external events. This is entirely internal. Face the brute means we got to face fear of failure, Face the brute means we got to face fear of losing. We got to face fear of failure. We got to face fear of losing. We got to face fear of what others will say about us. We got to face fear of criticism. That is extremely important. So face the brute means facing fear of criticism, which we are thinking actually. Those fears are basically imaginary fears. It can be termed as like those fears are like mirage. We think that those things are there, but it's not actually existing. No, not at all. Fear of failure, how can it exist? We haven't failed yet. We haven't failed yet. Fear of losing, we haven't lost yet, but we are thinking that we may lose. We are thinking that we may fail. So that is it. Fear of losing, fear of failure, fear of criticism, and fear of what others are saying about us. We got to face those things. We got to face our own limitations. We got to face our own doubts. That's the biggest problem. That's the biggest problem in any sort of higher performance level. If we need to really perform at the highest level, we got to be free from our own doubts. We doubt ourselves, and those doubts can kill us. Doubt kills us. Fear chokes us and kills us, and courage liberates. Courage liberates. We will be free. And what's the main chemistry? What's the main attitude? To be fearless, to be free, the biggest attitude is detachment. Detachment from the impact of whatever we are doing. Detachment from the result of whatever our project is. Detachment from the result, detachment from the impact. The more we are detached from the result, the more we are detached from the impact, more fearless we will be. So the main concentration got to be only on whatever we are doing. The main concentration, the 100% concentration, the 100% effort got to be on our project, on whatever we are doing, and the rest, it will take its own course. And the rest will take its own course. It's a normal process. We got to be detached. We got to be detached from the impact, from the final product, and from the result. And that creates main courage. Courage is the ability, just mark the words, courage is the ability to convert obstacles into stepping stones. This is it. And those obstacles, we are injecting those obstacles for us, because those things are basically self-created. And it really comes from ignorance. We are actually ignorant about our own nature. Amritasya Putraha is our real nature, is our reality. Amritasya Putraha, we are the children of immortal bliss. All of us, we are all on the same platform. All of us, that is our real nature, that is our reality. Satchidananda is our reality of nature. Satchidananda is our reality of nature. That is infinite existence, infinite bliss, and infinite consciousness. That is our reality. We are all on the same platform. So what to and why to fear? So fearlessness is actually our basic nature. We are only ignorant about it. We are only ignorant about our nature, about our reality. And that is the main problem. And that is why we are developing those negative attitudes, those doubts, those confusions. We are developing only because of that. So today, in this auspicious day, just try to relate whatever message we are getting with our own life. Come to our Great Teacher Swami Vivekananda. Just come to our Great Teacher Swami Vivekananda, and he will guide us. He is there. Swami Vivekananda is always with us, and Swami Vivekananda will be always with us. He is there to guide us. Just he is there. He will guide us to wash out our own fear, and he will guide us to wash out our own injected and imposed limitations, negative attitudes, and fear. Courage is our basic nature. But we are ignorant about it, and that's why we think that we are limited, and that's why we think that we will fail. So just ask for his guidance. Swami Vivekananda is always with us to guide us. He is always with us to guide us, to wash out that negative attitude which we are actually developing, which we are actually imposing. We should and we must try to relate whatever information, whatever message, whatever quotations we are going through with our own life. We must try to relate our great master Swami Vivekananda with our own life. He is actually part of us. We just got to realize it, that Swami Vivekananda is actually part of us. Thank you, my young friends. Thank you. This is the great fact. Strength is life, weakness is death. Strength is felicity, life eternal, immortal. Weakness is constant strain and misery. The remedy for weakness is not brooding over weakness. The remedy for weakness is not brooding over weakness, but thinking of strength, thinking of our inherent strength, thinking of our reality, thinking of our true nature, thinking of our true nature.